Hey guys, what's going on? This is currently take 2. Um, uh, as you can see, I'm back in my basement, and as you can't see, right there is the seat. There, it's a little bit easier to see. That seat is the mini chopper. I've got it in here now. I moved a bunch more stuff back that was in front of the bike, so now I have 10 feet in front of me. Gosh, that's a little bit much. I've got 10 feet in front of me, or in front of the bike, like 4 feet on this side of the bike, and about 4 feet on the other side. So 4 feet on both sides, just about, give or take, and then the back of it is out to where I come in at. And I just put the mini chopper in front of the bike to get it out of the weather. It's supposed to be really, well, you know, it's rainy and been snowing a little bit more. And I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way of the traffic in the yard, so I put it under here. It needs a definite throttle cable, but it pretty much needs a motor. It's got one on it now that's like a 97cc, but it's pretty well clapped. It's not got a lot of life left in it. It doesn't like to run really well. I mean, it starts, but it doesn't run good. It's pretty much on its last limb. But I have it for, I kind of got it to be able to play around on, and it's mainly for the kids. Something to learn on, learn the throttle. But the point of this video is about my starter, my kickstarter for my bike, which is behind you. Since I'd got this bike, it had a kicker. The kicker, instead of coming out and staying at a 90, it would go farther back. The boss gear had rolled, the metal had rolled, so it would open up farther, and whenever you go to kick, it would sharpen this angle up, and my foot would slip off, and it would kick up and bite me on the back of the knee or the back of the calf, which feels wonderful. I had looked up videos on how to fix it instead of spending like 70 bucks on a new boss, and this piece needs to be honestly replaced because it don't have the kick that holds it in place, the little bearing and spring. So honestly, if I had the money, I would be buying a new one of these, but it's also, if I had 250 bucks, I would buy another clutch case. But that's the thing, like 250 for the case, the clutch case, and then for the clutch basket cover is like another 60 or 80. So that's like that's well over 300. And then this thing, like $70, $50. I don't know if they sell, I probably could find a full one off of like eBay or something that was used. But I am ordering stuff for the bike, so I just figured that I would make do with this. I do have it zip tied onto the frame. I have a zip tie around the frame. the down tube for the whenever I start the bike, I put it in place and I slide the zip tie over this, and it holds it from gouging in my leg, which doesn't look really nice, but it functions and it works. But problem, this thing wouldn't open up to a 90. It would open up a little farther because the piece right in here was worn out, the edge. So what I done, I saw videos of people welding it, but they had all used MIG welders. So I was kind of afraid, because all we have that works is an SMAW welder. So I figured, maybe the SMAW arc welder would be, or stick welder, but I figured it would be a little bit too violent and kind of blow the metal out of the way. But with the new parts on the way, well, not on the way, but in the cart, I'm waiting for just a little bit more money in the next day or two, and then I'll be able to order the parts for it. I just figured it needed to be fixed, or at least tried to fix it. And I wanted to try to fix this before all the parts come in. And if I completely blew it out, then I would have to not order the parts and get this fixed out, or figured out. And then get the parts. So what I did was I just took a little piece of 1-inch thick board, drilled a hole out that's this diameter right here, the inside of the ball gear right there, and I stuck it. I took it apart. There's a little clamp, a pin right there, the expandable clamps, whatever you want to call it, and then there's a washer. These washers are very thin, and it's always best to get a little bit bigger if you can, kind of like shave it down a little bit so you can get a bigger washer, because this washer bows up and it loses its form and its shape, and it allows this to be kind of wobbly. But I was afraid that I was going to blow the metal out, so I took that, and there's a machine surface between here and here. That little spot is very, very flat and well shaped, and it's not real nice to gouge that up or whatever. It don't want to work really well. So I took the board, I laid it down, because this is flat all the way across, and I clamped this on the board to push it down, and then I put one little tack. You can see it's the shinier part, the part that's kind of raised up right there. I put a tack and I shaped it down to size, and that was pretty much all that I had to do right there. This side doesn't really matter a whole lot. It can be like I could clean it up a little bit, but I just decided not to. And the other weld that I made was right there. This was worn down too, and I put a pretty thick tack right there. And then I filed this surface down, and then this surface on the inside here. It's very hard to see because it's dark in this corner. I got to get more lights for in here. But that spot in there, that's where it meshes up whenever it opens up. It meets right there. So that's the corners that I fixed, was right there, that shiny spot right there. That's a tack weld. It's not the best because it was pretty dirty and it kind of made a little bit of porosity, but the part that I needed it to stick, it stuck to. And the other part is that shiny surface right here. My weld is right there. It kind of folded in at this corner right here. It was down, so I just laid a tack and then ground it flat, and then put the shape of it in right here. So now, whenever it opens, it is at pretty well true 90. This bar isn't at perfect 90, but if you look, this thing is kind of off at an angle to it. So whenever it's open, the foot piece is at 90 degrees. Really wasn't that difficult. I was more nervous than anything that I was gonna mess up the surface. But it went really well. Didn't take but like 10 minutes with about 15 minutes of really fine, small shaping so that I wouldn't overdo it and have to go over it again. But pretty well happy with how it turned out. I wish I could get that bolt out right there that I over tightened and broke the head off because I'm a big dumb dummy. But now I know that as long as I can just deal with this being floppy, whenever it starts to wear down, I can just lay a tack on it, reshape it, and I'm pretty sure that the weld metal material is much stronger than the actual material of the kicker, so it should last a lot longer. And this is, I'm almost pretty much certain that this is the 1996 stock kicker. I know it is stock, but I'd say this is the original for the bike. So yeah, if you have something like this and you kind of don't exactly have the funds to exactly repair it right or fix it or get a new piece, you can fix it and repair it if you have the right stuff. And just sometimes you gotta take risks. Like I said, I was afraid that it was gonna blow out some metal and I was gonna lose this piece, which is very expensive, or this piece, which is not as expensive but still expensive for what it is. Whenever, like I said, in a few days, I will be getting a little bit more money, and then I will have the full amount to get the parts for the bike. I have ready to order Pro Taper handlebars in the contour style, in the KX high mount style. I have a new clutch cable because that's actually what's on it now. It's not a clutch cable, it's a thinner cable, and it was just kind of to get me by until I had what I needed to get another one. and it was like they're like $10, and but now, you know, I got another one in the cart. I have grips coming. Whenever like I said, whenever I ordered, I've got grips coming. Front wheel bearings, because these front wheel bearings are pretty well garbage. Let's see, I got 5 things: clutch cable, handlebars, bearings. A sprocket. I have a -1 sprocket for the front coming in. This bike comes stock with a 13 tooth, and you know, it's fast, but it's kind of low on torque and like pull out, like out of the gate torque. So I'm going to drop one to lose a little bit of top speed, but I gain a lot of torque at the bottom. That's really what I need. This bike has a pretty high top speed, and there's really not many places through here that I could even really reach the full top speed. So dropping a gear or dropping a tooth, losing some top, which is only like 5 or 6 miles an hour up top, it's not that much, especially for how much low torque you gain. I need that pull, kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly a little bit of it is for wheelie practice, just a little bit. It don't want to come up until it hits power band, which for power band is mid RPM for this bike. So you kind of got to be going pretty fast. First gear, it's scary how fast it comes up, but second gear you got to be going really fast and then hit power band to pull it up. So hopefully with this tooth drop, I'll have a lot of that low bottom torque like a 4-stroke, and it'll come up easier, and it'll just be easier on hills and stuff, and I can grunt it up hills. I think there's one more thing. Bars, bearings, cable, sprocket. There was one more thing. I'll figure it out. Oh yeah, I got a new phone a while back. I don't know if I said that or not, but that phone that we're recording with is pretty much dedicated for recording, so I've got the pictures and music and stuff off of it, and you know, I can record very long videos and not really worry about running out of space. Come on, load. Go ahead and turn Bluetooth off, maybe that'll help a little bit. Grips. That's what I forgot. So let me turn the brightness down. Grips, bars, cable, sprocket, and bearings. It's right at 150, but it does need handlebars. They've been bent pretty bad for a while. My dad's leaving for work. Yeah, the handlebars have been bent pretty much, well, since I've got the bike, or had the bike. The dude done something with it on this side. He dropped it or something. It's not in the best of shape on that side. Or, well, the clutch side. But for $96 or something like that, the handlebars are a good deal. They're gold, just to kind of take the eyes off of the frame, which needs to be repainted. I do plan on painting it. I want to try a little bit harder to get that swing arm bolt out so that I can get the engine out, clean it up a little bit, kind of paint some accent parts on it, I want to keep the plastics black. I do need to repaint them because the paint's chipping. So I do plan on repainting. I don't exactly know when. $150 is quite a bit, for me at least, to drop on a bike at once. I kind of want to put a little bit into the mini chop. So maybe something there too. I am getting paid a little bit here and there, weekly. I'm getting paid $75 a week, so it's not a lot of money, but it is money, so I can't complain. But I don't get a lot of comments on my videos, so if you get this far, comment below what color you think I should go for on the frame. I was thinking maybe a bronze, like a goldish bronze color, or maybe gold. Well, not like gold, but a darker gold. The handlebars will be like a bright yellowish gold. Maybe I'll stick with orange, but I won't go that bright orange. I'll go like a burnt copper orange. So go ahead and comment what color you think they should be. Now, I'm not going to do like hot pink or purple or anything like that. I want to stay away from the well-known like red, yellow, blue. I don't want to go blue. I don't want to go red. I don't like Honda. Don't burn me at the stake for not liking Honda, but I don't like Honda. Yellow, Suzuki, just nobody go like Suzuki other than like the DRZs, which are alright. And even then you gotta do a lot to them. So maybe black, I don't know, but I'll consider every color, but know that I'm not going to paint it purple or pink or anything like that. I want it to be unique. The plastics, I do want to stick to black. Maybe a shinier black, like a matte gloss, semi-gloss. And then just make it shinier with the clear coat. I have matte black on it now. It's not clear coated. It was not primered. It was just black paint on plastics. My tank is looking horrible. It's flaking. The plastics on the shrouds or the tank shroud radiator shroud, whatever you want to call them, fairings, they were blue. The tank was purple. The tank is purple. The rear fender was blue because it's a YZ rear fender. The front fender is blue. It's a YZ front fender. The number plate is off of a YZ. It was blue. The number plates for the back, or muffler, exhaust cover, whatever they're called, I think they were black. I just went over, maybe one was white. I don't know for sure how much of the plastic was original. I want to change the seat cover up and take some of the fluff out of it. It's very comfortable, but it's also warm whenever I'm riding and it's hot outside, and I just want it to have that streamy, straight look instead of having that like fluffed up look. I just want it to be really linear with the back, the rear fender. But that's long term. I do want to keep the bike. I love this bike. It's been really good, other than just things that it don't have control over. I ran through water, through a little creek with the wheels, and that's why the front bearings are bad. The rear bearings aren't bad because it's a different back tire. But spokes need tightened up. As far as I think they're 6mm spoke nipples. I do want to get me a 4-stroke. It would be hard to trade this bike. This is the bike that I've rode the most. I only rode the CR once. I rode the TTR. Well, no, I rode the TTR more, but this bike is more memorable. Like, I took the TTR quite a few places, but this bike is just way funner. I mean, I would enjoy TTR again, but there ain't no way I'd get rid of this bike for one, and I probably wouldn't trade for one. If I trade for a 4-stroke, it's gonna have to be for trail 250. I mean, well, 200 would be decent, like a trail bike, but I could take this thing on the trails. It's geared for trails. I want like a 250. I've rode 450s, or I've rode a 450 that was bored to 482. Would not take that thing on the dirt. I would not ride that thing on dirt. I would supermoto it out and be done with it. It was just insane. I don't know how people race 450s on dirt. I mean, I guess if you have good tires, this thing didn't have good tire. But it was very, very fun, and I would like to have a 450, but I don't see myself getting one in the near future. I would just get a 250 and put parts on it, make it faster, fix it up some. But I guess half hour long video was going to be plenty long enough, and I hope you watched the full video. I would appreciate it if you would. That's pretty much my plans of what I'm going to do for this bike. I do have parts waiting to be ordered. I do plan on painting it, fixing it up. It's probably not going to be legal. I'm not going to make it street legal, even though I could. I don't like the blinker look. I mean, I could maybe somewhere down the line get the integrated signal brake light and do something like up in the front with integrated turn signals are very small turn signals. I don't like the ones that stick out real far. But I don't really plan on supermotoing this thing. But if I get me a 250 or 450 sometime, then I would like to supermoto it. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this video. If you enjoyed it, or if you watched at least most of it, please give me a like, a thumbs up. You know, that always helps. Lets me know that I'm doing something right. And if this is the first video you're watching and you like it, I pretty much do this every time I upload a video. If I'm not riding or showing how to DIY something, I'm usually like this in the basement. I got one machine behind me, and I got the other one in front of me. This is what you get. So if you're new, subscribe, please. It helps. And I'll see you in the next one.